4,000-yard passing. And we're the oldest franchise in the NFL. Yeah, there's like a +3, -3 betting odds for you if you're a betting man.
So Miami is getting 3. The Patriots are giving 3.
Correct. So how do you feel about the Patriots giving 3, and how do you feel about the matchup in general as a win-loss perspective? From a win-loss perspective,
I would say 65% chance we're going to win this game. If I had to put a percentage on it, I'm pretty confident. I think Miami's going to struggle against the Patriot defense. I don't have a lot of faith in Tua at all.
That's exactly what I was going to say, actually, and that's the reason I think that Miami's going to struggle. Is because with the Patriots and Bill Belichick specifically, there's one thing that he's really good at, and that's defeating average or young, inexperienced quarterbacks who don't know what he's trying to do to you. And when Bill Belichick has an elite corner as well, it's especially troubling for young quarterbacks. And Stephon Gilmore, I think, is going to have a good day. I predict a Stephon Gilmore interception.
He's on the pup.
Oh, he is. That's right.
He's on the pup.
It does change things. I still predict the Patriots get 1 or 2 interceptions.
J.C. Jackson is still a good corner, though. He's still a very solid number 2.
Even without Gilmore, I'm still pretty confident that Belichick is going to have a good day, or that his secondary will have a good day.
He's always, like you said previously, Bill's always fared well against young and experienced quarterbacks.
Absolutely, and yes, he's fared well against quarterbacks in general, but especially the young and inexperienced ones. And I think the reason why that is because he's the greatest cornerback coach in the game, in the history of football. He is the greatest secondary coach in the history of football. That's why he fares well against quarterbacks. So, and Tua is not, although Tua is very accurate, Tua apparently he still doesn't know the playbook. He has the Cam Newton syndrome. So
I would be curious to see how much actual play time like Tua has on an NFL field. I don't know. I would, if I was a Dolphin fan, I would have a lot of trouble trusting him.
Trying to see what their options are. Let's see here. Is it Brissett? Is number 2?
So
they
haven't
announced it.
I think a lot of Patriot Nation is well aware that the Pats are going to lean on the defense and the run game this year to get them through. And I think for a while, until Mac Jones gets into a good rhythm, you're going to see a tight end heavy pass game.
Absolutely. And why not? Belichick has had so much success with tight ends, with having 2 tight ends. He's done it like 3 iterations of this. And yes, it's not Tom Brady, but tight ends are the easiest guys to call plays for. They are the easiest guys on the field to call plays for because they're so big, and all you have to do is just kind of get them open. And it's pretty phenomenal. He says
they're just big targets. They're big huge targets to throw to.
There's so many good ones that Hunter Henry is phenomenal. Like, we've seen him make some amazing plays with the Chargers. I think he'll be just as good in a McDaniels offense. So I expect a lot out of the tight ends this year for sure.
Yeah, no, the combination of Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, those two tight ends, I think it's going to lend it well to keeping Mac Jones in a comfort zone. And the Patriots offensive line isn't elite, but it's pretty good.
Now you had said something a little bit ago, and it took me a second to pull it up completely. You had said you wonder how much time Tua is going to be given in there. Now, what do you mean by that? Do you mean by the pocket?
How much actual play time he's seen, like, on an NFL, to me, it doesn't seem like he's got a lot of real in-game experience. I think he's still kind of young, to me, I think Mac Jones and him are on the same experience level.
Well, here's my question to you. They have a very interesting backup there in Miami. And now that we're talking about this matchup, what if Tua does struggle? I know we could play the what if game for anything. I realize that. But let's say Tua has kind of he struggles with this Patriots defense, could you see a situation in which they bring in Jacoby Brissett, who has seen the Patriots multiple times, has played them? Not only that, he was a Patriot at one point.
Yeah.
So could you see the Patriot? I mean, you don't want to crush Tua though, but what's your opinion on that? On the backup being so strong?
I don't know. That's tough because if you take
strong backup,
Brissett's a good backup. He started for Indy. He started for the Colts for I think the whole year one year, and didn't do too bad. I think they were around. I think they got like 7 or 8 wins. I think they got 7 or 8 wins that season. I think 7 wins.
Something like that.
So he didn't do too bad, I think. He's like I think he's a serviceable backup. But I don't know, like, do you really want to start a season like that and ruin a quarterback's confidence and sit him in the first game? I think it would take a lot. It would take a lot for them to be like, you know what? Nah.
I think, like 5 games of failure at that point. Like you would need like 5 or 6 games of failure
in a
to take
row.
him out. Yeah.
In a row.
So, but I do want, if I'm sitting there, Brian Flores, and I'm just like looking at Jacoby Brissett, I'm like, but if I see Tua start throwing 3 picks in the first half, I'm just gonna be looking at Jacoby like, hey there, Jacoby.
You better get warmed up
right now.
You better get warmed up.
Is that arm loose? For real, that's what I'd be thinking. So, interesting.
How's your arm feeling, Jacoby? Is it ready to roll?
hey Brissett, how you feeling, bro? No, for real though, I'd be strongly considering that if he does. Although I don't know if I'm expecting that. Tua has had a whole off season, like you said, to really figure things out, to really bond with his teammates. Who knows what we're gonna see this year? We got 3 Alabama quarterbacks, but there's 17 games this year. That's correct, Jared. And my question for you is, if you had to predict a score or what type of game it'll be, break that down for us. As unbiased as you can.
I think 27-14, 27-14, 27-17.
I agree with the 27-17. I think it's going to be, I think that the Patriots or the Dolphins might get 1 turnover. I think the Dolphins might get 1 turnover, turn that into 7 points, and then they're going to have a slow game, maybe get 1 touchdown at the end. But the Patriots are going to overwhelmingly dominate the game with the run. Like, they're just going to pound that rock. You're going to see a lot of Stevenson. You're going to see a lot of Damian. You're going to see all 4 of the guys.
So here's a little nugget for you, JD. Ramondre Stevenson dislocated his thumb in practice on
oh my God, I'm missing everything.
On Tuesday, I think.
On Tuesday?
I think this week, yeah.
But they were just doing walkthroughs, weren't they? I thought they were doing walkthroughs.
I think he did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he dislocated his thumb.
Jeez, man. Dudes are just like getting ice cream cones.
They're hopeful. They're hopeful that he'll be ready to go for Sunday. But just add that little nugget in there. You know, add that in there.
Luckily, they have 3 other running backs. But I still feel the same. I think that the Patriots are going to win. I agree with you. It's going to be like 27. I think they'll get like 20-something points, anywhere from 23 to 25 points. And honestly, if the Patriots don't win this game because the Dolphins are more talented or something, younger, maybe they beat the brakes off of some of them. Because keep in mind, who was that guy? Darn it, he signed with the Dolphins recently, and he came back to the Patriots. It's not Ninkovich. It's Van Noy. Thank you, Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, like, so clearly Flores saw him as like expendable. So
there was some value there, though.
Oh, there's excellent value. Definitely, the Patriots wanted him back. But I do wonder, what if this is Belichick's? And do you, as a Patriots fan, worry? What if Belichick's time really was attached to Brady? What if this is like an average year or something like that? Does that fear ever creep into you or your fan base here? Or do we know we're going to talk about it?
I don't know. I think the Patriot fan base, the Patriots in general, just being as successful as they have been for 20 years now, 20 seasons, I think the bar itself is already set high. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's already set really, really high. I mean, I think for the most part, I think a lot of Patriot fans understand that, Brady is a once in a lifetime, a generational talent. So you're not going to get, those 12, hope. Well, we can only hope that Mac Jones is half of what he is,
You're right.
But like with Brady, all those years where it's a guaranteed 12 wins, guaranteed.
He was so determined. He wanted to win. He cared about the game more than anything. That's why it is peculiar to me that Bill didn't want to keep it together. And I think at the end, Brady didn't want to keep it together. But there was a time when Bill didn't want to keep it together. And that is peculiar to me. I think he really liked Jimmy Garoppolo. That's a whole other story for a different day. But it's interesting. It is interesting.
I mean, we covered all of this in nauseum with Brady Watch, just all of the different angles and the different dynamics between them all, and all of the rumors and all that. I mean, me and JD have done countless videos during our Brady Watch series that we did, following his, Tampa Bay signing. But just the that whole dynamic. I think for the most part, though, most Patriot fans understand where the expectations are this season. And I think given Mac Jones's potential, I think a 10-win season is doable. I think it absolutely is.
And I was just playing devil's advocate because I actually believe that the Patriots have something besides Bill Belichick that a lot of teams wish that they had, and that's Josh McDaniels. Really good offensive coordinator. Yeah, exactly. Who could easily be a head coach. And I feel like Bill Belichick wants to win another title with Josh McDaniels, and then he probably wants to retire and then give Josh McDaniels the keys to the car. And Josh McDaniels probably wants that the Patriot way and all that stuff. But regardless, as far as this season goes, you're right. I think the expectations are relatively tempered, but there is still kind of like a 9 to 11 wins, right? Like there's still kind of like a, hey, we still better be in the playoff hunt.
I think they'll be in the hunt. That's a definite. I think they'll definitely be in the hunt for sure.
I think so too.
And I think they should win. I think they should score this. Like I said, this game, I think it's going to be 27-14, 27-17, somewhere in that range. And I think a lot of those points are going to come on the ground. To be honest, I think a lot of those points are going to come on the ground. I think most of those 27 will come on the ground.
I don't expect Mac Jones to make a ton of mistakes, but I do expect the first 4 or 5 games. Maybe
you'll see. I bet you'll see him throw a couple of picks in the first 5 or 6 games. Just from getting. I mean, he's a rookie, dude. There's fast cornerbacks, and these he's going to be facing some of these elite guys. Guys in the corner. Let's be honest. Even the worst corner in the NFL is still an NFL corner, and he can jump in front of they can jump in front of footballs that are thrown bad. And even the worst corner in the league can jump in front of a badly thrown ball and pick it off,
Absolutely. And they do. And with the Patriots, they're about as good as anyone at running the ball. Them or the Niners, maybe at one point the Eagles, but I'm not sure about the Eagles anymore. Either way, I think the Patriots will have a good year in this specific matchup. I got Patriots winning this matchup handily.